great. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
What game do you want to hit on today?
Well, I have two questions for you. In general, my first question, I guess, is which team would you say in the NFL has been your biggest surprise/disappointment of the year? And I wanted to start with that first, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. For me, Al, it's easy. The Detroit Lions, 7-1 against the spread. Nobody gave them a chance. Sean Hill in the beginning of the year played great. Stafford came back, played great. They're going to have their problems now. Both of them are out. But up until now, if you're on the Detroit Lions every week, you're 7-1 with them, and you're very happy. And to me, that's a huge surprise. If I would have told you that last year, you would have thought I was smoking something.
And I think that based on the first two games of the season, the biggest in-season surprise would be the New York Giants, who look like trash, especially after getting blown out by the Colts on that Sunday night game, and have now since won 5 in a row and covered 4 of them.
Right, and let's be honest, their win last week wasn't as impressive as some of their other wins because they were playing a tin can in Seattle, without Hasselbeck. But let's also remember that Hasselbeck probably didn't play that game because he was scared to face the Giants, who have already taken Romo and Cutler and everybody else out of the game.
And I think in terms of the disappointments, you have to go with the big names, the Cowboys, the Vikings, all money burners.
Vikings, definitely.
And teams that are public teams that people love to just come in and bet because of the name value. Throwing the Cincinnati Bengals in there, so much was expected of them coming off their strong finish last year and in their in-division play, going undefeated in AFC North action last year, and they have just, totally fallen to pieces.
Yeah, I think the Jets have been a little bit of a letdown. Not for me. I kind of figured them to be this way, but to all those people that watched Hard Knocks and fell in love with Rex Ryan and all that, they obviously haven't lived up to their potential, especially on offense.
And two other teams that nobody really expected you to make money, let alone win some games, Tampa Bay and the Cleveland Browns. How about the Browns?
Yes.
Consecutive upsets of the Saints before the bye, and just to show it wasn't a fluke, they beat up, and totally beat up the New England Patriots last week. Never saw that coming.
They're calling him man genius again, that the student beats the teacher.
Well, I want to go that far with the man genius part. Okay, now what game did you want to hit, Joe?
Specifically, you guys are talking about the Vikings kind of being a disappointment. Did you think their comeback win last week against Arizona can carry them over? They've got two big division games coming up here. This first one at Chicago this Sunday today, and I'm just wondering, can that carry over, especially with Sidney Rice expected to be back for them?
It's funny because all the Viking fans this week are all talking about how Favre is back. Favre is back after last week's game. But to me, if I'm Chicago, the thing that really worries me is the fact that Minnesota was able to pull off 6 sacks in that game, and that was as many sacks as they've had all year. If I'm sitting Jay Cutler right now, I'm concerned because if Minnesota comes at me and gets to me, that spells concussion for Cutler. I probably like Minnesota this game in an 8th-round knockout.
and the other thing, not only did Favre have a career game, hard to believe that was his highest career passing yardage, playing with the broken ankle, whatever, and being 147 years old, and that was his biggest game of his lengthy career last week. But how about the Vikings' offense overall? 507 total yards in that game. But they're continually plagued by special teams and turnovers and problems on the special teams, and that's what's really killed them. And let's just remember one thing. Although I agree with you, I think the Vikings are probably the way to go here. This is a team that's lost 8 straight games on the road, regular and postseason combined, dating back to last season. 8 straight road losses. Forget about the fact they're 1-6-1 ATS in that stretch. That has to concern you when the Chicago Bears, this is a huge, huge division rivalry game. Vikings couldn't deliver at Green Bay, albeit against a much better Packers team than compared to the Bears team they're going to be facing today. But they couldn't deliver on the road in that game. They haven't delivered anywhere on the road here this year. And yet I still lean toward Minnesota, and you're looking at this price. It's a virtual pick'em game.
Yeah, that's the thing that stands out to me. Sometimes you got to forget all the sophistication. You go good team against bad team when you're at a virtual pick'em, and it always seems to work out.
Okay, Joe, thanks for giving us a call. Next up, we're going to head down to Daytona Beach, Florida, where Bob is waiting for us. How you doing, Bob?
Hey, guys. Fine. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, I got to tell you.
Bob, wake up. Come on. Add a little excitement here. Come on.
Sorry, I'm a little stuffed up here. I'm really thinking about giving up betting on sports.
You had Seattle last Sunday, huh? No, it's good.
No, I had the Patriots.
Wow, it was a bad. Listen, that was a trap game. I mean, you had to see that the Patriots were playing at Pittsburgh this week. I mean, you had to know that this team, how did they possibly get up for the Cleveland Browns? Forget about the Belichick-Mangini rivalry. I mean, they had to be focused in advance, knowing that they're going to Heinz Field today to take on the Steelers.
Yeah, and we talked about it actually on our show last week. And, to all the gamblers out there that feel like Bob does, which a lot of them do, now is the best time to get a hold of one of our handicappers, because if I tell you, as a company, from a company standpoint, we've never been hotter in the midst of a football season. So many different handicappers right now are really hitting. Anthony Red, Chuck O'Brien, Andy Finelli. So many different guys have really come through that there's no reason for you to be feeling that way, Bob. You should have already taken advantage of our all access pass, gotten everybody for free, and really you should be dominating your man. And that's the best advice I can give you is come on, man. It's time. Come into the circle of information. Come get our stuff.
So, Bob, what game did you want to actually isolate on today's card?
Probably the most intriguing one for me is Baltimore-Atlanta.
Well, that would be a very intriguing game since it was already played.
Right.
So, Bob, I think you're taking a little too much nasal decongestant. I'll tell you. First, he's despondent because of gambling.
Right.
He's thinking about giving up gambling, and now,
right.
I mean, we can definitely give him the winner of the game that's already been played. That's for sure. No problem at all. Let's go back to the phone. Oh, before we go to the phones, let me just remind you, at the bottom of the screen, you've been seeing a discount coupon code. And guys, listen, you go to PickNation.com right now, use the coupon code and enter it that you see at the bottom of the screen. Enter it in your shopping cart when prompted, and you are going to save $30 off any purchase you make today at PickNation.com. You can buy my play, you can buy Steve's play, you can buy the all-access pass where you can get all 13 handicappers for a ridiculously low price to begin with, which is now going to be $30 cheaper. Again, you see this discount coupon code flashed at the bottom of the screen. Use it. It's good today only. $30 off any final purchase you make today. I mean, and we do these type of things and encourage you to do it because, again, we have that much confidence. We are that good. There may be some guys that are losing, but if you look at the site, you're always going to see the losers and the winners displayed the following day. We're totally transparent. And the other thing is, as you said, Steve, my gosh, there have been so many red-hot handicappers with Chuck O'Brien and Anthony Red and Craig Davis leading the way, all hitting big plays. Steven Nover again cashing in last Sunday. I mean, so these are guys that have been on red-hot rolls, not to take advantage of either the all-access pass or the discount coupon here at the bottom of the screen. Guys, you're just fooling yourself.
And it's one of the biggest differences between us and all the other companies. You'll never see another company in our business give anything away for free. What they'll cleverly do is guarantee a play, make you pay for it, and then if you happen to lose, they'll offer you something free in return. Biggest scam in the book, biggest trick in the book. All they're doing is turning the cash register, getting your money, and then within minutes, you'll be hit by 7 other services, 6 other bookmakers, all trying to get your business all in bed with the company that you bought from. You won't see that happen here ever.
And the other thing, guys, the reason you see here, PickNation.com, is we are a 100% online business. There are no salesmen. There are no 800 recorded messages to call.
There are no telephones in our office.
No, that's it. We are 100% an online business. So what you see is what you get. You never have to be concerned with the fact, and I know so many of you, matter of fact, we're making our debut here today in Vegas. Guys in Vegas watching this show, I know 99% of you out there in the audience have been scammed by a guy who you called their telephone service because you don't know, and I'm telling you, at 25 years in the business, I know for a fact they double-side games the majority of these guys. So caller A comes in, he gets one side of the game, caller B gets the other side, or the other scam that we always talk about that the phone service operators do. You call in for Joe Blow's company. You may get that pick today, win, and if you lose that pick, guaranteed tomorrow, you're going to get called from Jane Blow's company, which is really the same salesperson working a different cubicle in this big calling center. They just take your name and they cycle it through all the bogus companies they have operating under one roof. PickNation.com. What you see is what you get, 100% online business. That's why if we win today, great, you'll see us bragging about it tomorrow. If we lose today, you're going to see the loser the next day on every single handicapper site.